Hi everyone, N5ZY in the Rover, and I was going to show you right quick. This is what the radio stack looks like over here. Normally down here on the bottom shelf I'd have the IC7300 HF radio to run a transverter, which converts it from 28 megahertz to 222 megahertz. And the other, and the transverter, something's wrong with it, so I had to send it back to the shop. That's why it's not here. The new thing that I've added is this SAT controller, and normally it's for an AZEL rotor setup, but I'm able to use it with just azimuth and without the elevation rotor. You know, when I do satellite stuff, I'll switch out mass and use the elevation rotor. But for the Rover situation, what I ran into is I would be communicating with someone, or I would know that someone was on the radio, say N0LD. One of my friends, I knew he was on the radio and during the contest, and I wanted to work him, but I'm in a different location, and I have to kind of scratch my head and think about, from my current location to his location, which way do I need to turn the rotor, right? So that's where the SAT controller comes in, because it can talk to QRZ, and I can go down to control here, and I can punch him in, and I can hit look up, and it shows me from my current position, he's at 137 degrees. And what's even more fun is I can click go. And it's going. It's turning the rotor for me. It goes past. It's going on to 137 degrees. So while we're waiting on that, back here in the back behind me is where that transverter would normally sit, where that pink foam is. Down here you can also see my coaxial switches. And the reason for that is because I have to switch between a vertical and the Yagis, and I'm having this go through a triplexer. It's kind of a cardinal sin. It's got 3 outputs, and the first thing I do is put it into a triplexer to get it to 1 output. And then on the other side, up here, you can see where the coax comes in the window, and I'm using the black rubber insulation that would normally be used for air conditioner tubing. That stuff, it's very spongy, works really well to seal off these windows. And I'm thinking I'll put a second layer on there to make it thicker, so I can close the window just a wee bit better. And that right directly behind me is where the ladder would normally sit. But it's outside the car, obviously. What else? I think that's about it. So I'm going to click park on here to put the antenna back where it should go. And trying to think if there was anything else to show you. So I've got my 2 power switches down here, the SAT rotor. This is just a little Wi-Fi access point that shares the 5G internet off my phone. A little voltage meter, power meter here. It tells me what my batteries are doing. Batteries are at 13.25 volts. There's the batteries down here in the floorboard. 2 100 amp hour lithium ion phosphate batteries in parallel. And my transverter way back here in the very back. You can see it down there in the floorboard. Yeah, it's a large transverter. It was an open box special, and at the price it was at, I couldn't walk away because it was very inexpensive. My USB port consolidator, so I just have 1 USB cable coming into the laptop instead of 3, which would, I don't think I even have 3 USB. I guess I have 3 USB ports. Anyway, I'm rambling. Another thing that I've done is I've attached this little doohickey up here. Right, I've got my headphones on it, but This holds a tablet, and on that tablet I can display information like what the current band conditions are, and if people are making contacts on 2 meters and 70 centimeters or whatever. And I guess that's it. So 7-3 all, N5ZY /R Rover.